Welcome to the new episode of Vector Space Talk. Today I am joined by Rishi Yadav. Rishi, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. And Rishi, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from, what you do, and give us a fun fact.
Okay, so I'm based in India, but currently I am in Berlin, and I'm a developer advocate at 12 Labs. Um, and I'm an AI researcher too, so I usually do research around the time series forecasting to multimodalities, and usually I work on AI agents, specifically more into multimodality and AI agents. And the fun fact about me is you can find me every day something building something new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. And as you mentioned, you are from 12 Labs, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up the 12 Labs website here. So, can you tell us a little bit about what 12 Labs does?
Okay, so 12 Labs works around the video understanding models, specifically video understanding as in developing a model which can understand the visuals and the audios so that you can get to know more about this stuff. So we have our own model as Merengo 2.7 and Pegasus 1.2. And what does this model does is you can create your semantics or vector representations of your videos, and via creating this you can create a lot many application and enhance the searchability around the videos, and can make the videos actually a useful assets of your product, and helps to ensure the greater flexibility or personalization for your users.
Awesome. Very cool. And I'm really excited to dive deeper into both of those models and also just this idea of embedding video. It's really cool, right? Especially embedding video without just looking at frames individually like we've been doing for a while. So, before we dive into that though, there's a story I wanted to talk with you about, Rishi. I saw a story coming out that the Ant Group is actually going to start using domestic chips to train their models. And this is interesting because this is the Alibaba owned company. And it's kind of bringing up this idea that maybe compute is going to get even cheaper as domestic productivity rises all across the world. And I'm curious, where do you see AI going in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, so if we specifically talk about the compute and about the AI, so like when actually the LLM models came into the picture, the response time was 28 seconds or 27 seconds, and with the help of parallel processing GPUs, which came into, for the compute, it it drastically got reduced to 1 or 2 second response. So, and lot much of a compute revolution also happened with the AI revolution which we have seen. And
Yeah,
as you can see, like last year was all about multimodalities and new LLM models. But what we can see in the future is it's more about multimodalities, because we have different different modalities of data we at this moment the industry have, and they need to make use of that so that
yeah,
every asset has been used particularly. And you might have observed, like from the start of the year everyone is talking about AI agents. So the future would be mostly about automations with the AI agent plus the multimodalities. So you can just do the action by just giving a prompt. Maybe you wanted to edit a video, maybe, or do something an action, and you don't need to go to other toolings. You have all the
yeah,
toolings, you have all the AI.
yeah,
You just need to
yeah, yeah,
write
yeah.
the correct prompt. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And for someone out there who might be watching this that isn't technical and they just want to learn more about AI, what's multimodal? What does that mean?
Okay, so as we can see all the text on the if we can just open the Twitter or any shopping portals, it's all text, right? But
Okay.
if we just have a shopping portal, we have images also. Nowadays you might have seen we have reels also, reel as in video
Yeah.
clip. So we
Yeah.
have different formats, different modals of the data. And currently, at this moment, with the help of LLMs or with the help of NLP, which we have like traditionally, the text
Yeah.
has been used in a we can say a very efficient way. but
Yeah,
still
yeah,
like images, videos, and there are other modalities also which will come into
hmm
the future, like
yeah,
using the 3D assets in an easier way,
yep,
or using a different modalities if any industry have like maybe temperature or
yeah,
sensor data. So
yeah.
it's just like having a different type of a format and making use of it, of that as assets into that.
And when did you get into AI computers coding? Is this something that has been a lifelong thing for you, or is this more recent for you?
No, like I have been into this space from last more than 4 years. Yeah,
Okay.
4 to 5 years.
Yeah, I think we're pretty similar. I got into the space at a similar time. Um,
Mhm.
I was actually one of those people that lost their job to AI because I used to work on OCR for PDFs.
Mhm.
And as you can imagine, that is just an API call now. So they don't need someone to do that manually.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Rishi. So now I would love to talk a little bit about the app that you've built. So you've built something that I think is one of a kind. I'm not sure that something like this exists currently on the internet. So why don't you just give us a intro of the app and kind of walk us through it?
Yeah. So uh, the app is around the video content recommendation. So, oops.
You're good. You can just start over.
Okay. Yeah. So the app is about the video content recommendation. So specifically, if we just talk about the video recommendation which you get, so that is based on keyword or maybe description or transcription, or mainly up around the user activity. So
Yeah.
whatever the activity which happens on the video, likes or share or and the similar kind of a group which use or which consume that video, you get to see that videos, right? So this is the way
Yeah.
actually how traditionally it works. But
So when you talk about that, you're basically saying if me and you were on YouTube and we were
Mhm.
watching,
Yeah,
let's say soccer videos, and then one day you decide to watch a tennis video, the video platform might recommend me a tennis video because it says, well, you watch soccer videos. This other person watches soccer videos. This other person watched a tennis video. Let's show this other person a tennis video.
yeah. So
And
here one thing's got lost is what you actually feel to actually watch, and mostly it's not based on the visuals which are there.
yep,
Nowadays you might have seen lot much of an content is short form plus very quick form of content, so there are like lot many stuff in this in the one clip, so
mm,
it's important to understand the visuals also.
okay. And
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit about Excuse me. Can you talk a little bit about how 12 Labs is helping with that process specifically?
Yeah. So to understand a video, like AI can't understand directly by just viewing the video. So we need to convert this video into embedding so that the AI, like the system can understand about, okay, what's going on inside the video.
Okay.
So with the help of 12 Labs Marengo Retrieval 2.7 model, these videos are being converted into embedding so that we can interact with that.
Nice. Very cool. Okay. I think we're ready to dive in. You want to
Yeah,
show us what the demo looks like?
yeah. I will share the screen.
You feel good so far? This is cool. Okay.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can. All right. So why don't you explain this demo to us, please?
Yeah. So here you can see, as I mentioned, the Marengo Retrieval 2.7, which has been used to actually convert these videos into an embedding, and then it is stored in a Quadrant cloud collection. And with the help of Quadrant search, we get the relevant videos. Let's see in the action, and then we'll get to understand about what is going on. And for
Yeah.
this process, you can see 100 plus videos are being taken and converted into an embedding.
Okay.
So let's say I select comedy for now, and let's say I don't give any search for options for
Okay.
this moment. And you can see the most of the content which is getting up here is like comedy. So it's like kind of a
Yeah.
meme. So it before a nap, and then it
Yeah, yeah,
provides
no.
the
Okay, so, geez, I'm a little scared when you guys release this. I'm gonna start wasting a lot of time with some nice targeted shorts.
yeah. So
Very
uh,
cool.
As you can see, the 10 only I have added like for the demo purpose the only the 10 results
Yeah,
set
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, and I can just change. Let's say my mood is more around for comedy. I can
Wait,
start.
can you pause the clip? We can't hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, no, you're good. Just couldn't hear you for a second there.
yeah. So I just clicked on the comedy right at the first, and then I selected the mood as musical. So then I got this clip from that 10
You're
clips.
also standing on my foot.
So that I get to see as per my preference, and then after that it got reshuffled my results. So it's like the previous query of mine and this one got appended, and as per that I am getting the result.
So, a very obvious use case here is if you have a website that has short form video content and you want to make search better, recommendation better. Right now, you're only using collaborative filtering. You can add on that metadata filtering using Marengo, and then
Yeah,
you'll get even more accurate recommendation and search.
yeah. Like
Very, very cool.
for one more example, like I can
Yeah.
just go on sci-fi,
Okay.
and maybe I need more of a dark tone.
Jeez.
So
It gets specific.
So you can see the first one which came is more of a dark tone,
Yeah,
and
no,
yeah, sci-fi.
this is wow. This is crazy. Yeah, it's definitely picking up the semantic meaning of,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what's very interesting, Rishi, is you typed in dark tone sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
It's pulling scenes from Wall-E, which is actually a typically happy movie, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this model is somehow able to. It's not as if we've tagged the movie as sad, because Wall-E is pretty generally happy. It's able to literally look at the individual clip and say, "This clip is a sad," and yeah, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff here. Okay, awesome. So now, do you want to dive into how you built this? So from the start
Sure.
all the way to the finish, I'm curious, how did you get the idea, first of all?
Yeah, like currently, as per, like I was just amazed about how the recommendation engines is actually works around the video content, because while I was exploring about the multimodalities, I thought, okay, like other platforms are been doing it from years, and this concept was not there before. So
Yeah,
how they
yeah,
were
yeah.
doing it, and then I got to know, okay, it's more of a like some platforms are relied on the transcriptions only, some platforms are like on the user activity, and then I thought, okay, let's do some experimentation around it.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's very cool. Okay. And then I'm curious as well in terms of the embedding. So you mentioned that you had hundreds of clips. For the embedding, you mentioned that there's the Marengo and then there's that Pegasus model. Can you talk a little bit about what is the difference between those two models?
Yeah, so Marengo model is used to convert your videos into embeddings, but Pegasus is to generate text with the help of the model. So it's like you are having a conversation with the video.
Okay.
So if we have an embedding, so what all task we can do with the embedding is search or classify.
Mm-hmm.
But if we are talking specifically about the Pegasus model, you can just prompt it and ask it about anything. If let's say I have a podcast video, I can just tell, okay, provide me the timestamp or highlights of the videos specifically, and have a catchy highlight titles, and then it
Yeah.
will generate me a whole thing. So it saves a
Gotcha.
lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you guys are double dipping basically. Not only can you create the system for searching, recommendation, maybe even kind of anomaly detection for video, right? Because the vector would show you where that video is in the
Hmm.
cluster. But then on the
Yeah.
other side, I can use this to generate clips, or sorry, generate captions for my shorts if I
Hmm.
am creating content or even if I'm curating content. Okay, very cool. Yeah, that makes sense. And do you know, and maybe you can't reveal, but are there any other models coming, maybe?
Currently, like there is like, are you talking about like other than this specifically?
And
No.
anything you want to share? Anything you want
Yeah.
to share?
more more what I can say is like previously the capability was of 30 minutes of understanding and then you need to chunk around the video.
Yep.
Then in January we launched Pegasus 1.2 and now the videos it can handle is for 1 hour, and
Oh,
if it's longer you can chunk it, and further line the time it will get more improved and it would be more easier for the user.
is that using distillation?
Uh, no, it's not around distillation, but like specifically if we talk about video understanding models, so if I talk about various other models we have like in the market, it usually analyze the video by taking the frames out of it. Like if there is a complete video, it takes 10 frames and then it understands with the frame. But here the Pegasus model understands the whole video clip with whole flow and also the temporal dependence between the flow, so that
Yes.
we get an accurate scene by scene stuff as an response. But if we talk about, let's say I give any other model and provide all the frames, there will be issue with the context window and lot of input which has been provided for,
Yes.
that's the
If
issue
you,
which it solves. Yeah.
kind of going back to the start of the conversation, if you've ever used the AI agents that claim to describe a video by taking the frames out, you know that they would not be able to do a search like this where it's sci-fi, dark tone. Yeah, they just can't do that. Okay, very cool, Rishi. I would love to dive into the actual code and take a look at how you built this and also give people a blueprint for how they can build their own video recommendation systems.
Yeah, it's like too simple. Like we can just directly jump to GitHub from here itself.
Hey, I mean, hey, make it
Yeah.
easy for the people, baby. 12
Yeah.
labs and quadrant.
So yeah, here is the overview
You have
thing.
to, sorry, you have to, I'm guessing you're sharing the tab.
Okay, okay, wait. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, you're good. All right, so do you want to just walk me through the code for this application, Rishi?
Yeah, sure. So specifically, like we can talk about the overview of the flow first. So like I can break down it into two parts. First is collection of data and then
Do you
conversion
mind
of
just
it.
clicking on that picture so it's full screen?
Okay, yeah.
Yep, thank you.
So, like first the collection of data of video content, and then conversion of the data and then storing it to the database is the first step. And the second step is the application part. So, how it works is, let's say I get a folder of 100 plus or 200 videos, then just you can call the Marengo Retrieval 2.7 and generate the embedding out of it. Plus, if you have the public URL of the video, then you don't need to create one. Let's say you have all the videos locally stored, then you need to add it to the AWS or any platform just to get the public URL so that
So
it
that
can
they
be
live on the internet, basically, as
uh,
opposed to just on your machine.
yes, so that it can be stored into a metadata and you can use it for the streaming into your application.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so and combining it as a one point. So let's say one video comes, one embedding gets generated, plus the metadata of that respective video, clubbing it together as a point structure, and then storing it to the Qdrant cloud.
Yeah.
So this is like the first flow, and as soon as the flow is completed, you are ready to come. You are ready to build the app around it.
Yeah.
So here you can see, let's say this is me, and I provided the preferences
Keep going.
as sci-fi and dark tone.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I clicked on that button, the text which is there on the button are also get converted into an embedding.
Okay.
So with the help of Marengo Retrieval 2.7, that
Yeah.
preferences and search has been converted into a text embedding, and with the help of that embedding, this semantic search happens at the database.
Mm. Okay.
And as per that, it finds okay, sci-fi, okay, dark tone. So the semantics and with the video embeddings that we have, it finds the exact position and gets me the relevant content out of it.
Yeah. Very
And
cool. Okay.
when I change my preference of mood, search here, then again my text got embedded, and again the semantic search happens, and the whole flow goes on.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. So basically, you're using that Marengo to get the embedding, and then you're getting the metadata. Combine that in Quadrant. We get the relevant content, and then we can also apply that filter for the preference or mood search. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Awesome. So, do you want to dive in a bit to how the backend code works?
Mhm. So this is the front end one, which is in Next.js, but we'll be specifically talking about the main component of the backend of how
Yeah,
it's working. So you can, if you will just have a look, it would be so simple, like to build. Like
I love it.
you won't even believe, like, okay, it's that simple to go on. So
Okay.
yeah, like I made like it's super simplistic to follow on.
No, I
Uh,
love it.
yeah,
We like simple here, so
yeah.
beautiful.
So it's like you just need to like this. These are just the necessary imports around uh, Flask to make an API, to Labs to assess the model. Then we
Yeah.
have Qdrant client. Then we have like logging just to understand what's happening behind. So I will showcase to you what's happening, whatever the things we discussed
Can
in
you
the
give me
diagram.
1 second? I'm sorry. Can you give me 1 second? Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay. Can you start over? My bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So here first you can see we just imported a necessary libraries, Flask to make
Yep.
an API, 12 labs for the model, Quadrant client to assess the database, and then the logging, so that whatever we have discussed in the flow, I will showcase to you in action happening in what are the things happening behind, and CORS, so that my API interacts with the portal, and the app scheduler is just for my app to be working all around the time. And this is
Yeah.
just for initialization of a Flask here. And here the most crucial part is getting the API key. So you can get the API key of 12 labs from 12 lab playground, and the one can get the Quadrant host and API key by creating a Quadrant cloud cluster.
Yep.
And um, and here configuring the client and also the vector size as 1024 is what has been suggested. Um, and here as timeout as 20 seconds, so if it's not connected then it will just get aborted, and just the user needs to provide the Quadrant host and Quadrant API key if they are developing any use case around it.
Yeah.
I will just zoom in a bit more so it's
No
more clear.
problem.
Yeah. So here this is just server is running, and this is the initialization of Quadrant, so that the collection name which I have provided before as content collection, here if there is no collection around it, then it will create a new collection for me. So it's just the
Yep.
initialization of the
Okay.
collection. Then this is just API health. And yes, we got to the main point, which is search endpoint. And this is the only crucial function here, which we'll be taking a look at. So this is the request which comes up in the JSON format. So
Hmm.
the query which has been provided there as sci-fi and dark tone, that comes as in a JSON format here, and we
And
get
is there
stored
a
in.
reason that you're using JSON specifically?
Yeah, so that it's better to handle around sending stuff from front end to back end or back end to front end. So
Okay.
in a structured manner. So I just retrieved it, the 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 text query which was there. I just retrieved it into a variable as query,
Yeah.
and here I just logged it so that I can check in the backend or the command prompt as everything is going correct or not. And then the crucial part comes is to convert this text query into an text embedding. So for that, the client we set up for the 12 labs dot embed dot create, then we are assessing the model Marengo retrieval 2.7, and here I am providing the formatted query, and then it generates me the text embedding for it.
Yep.
So here what I am doing is, now after getting this embedding response, I am just retrieving the specific part where the embedding has been stored. So you can see the embedding is stored in text embedding dot segments dot embeddings float here exactly.
Mm.
And I'm just getting that particular embedding and storing it to the vector.
Yeah.
Now the search endpoint comes. Here the Qdrant client that we have initialized dot query points for the search purpose, and where we need to search from the collection which we have already defined
Yep.
as
The
collection name as
content
content
collection.
collection. Yeah, and query is equal to vector, the text embedding,
Mm-hmm.
and then the limit as 10 videos. That's the reason we are getting to see 10 videos as a
Yep.
result. And yeah, it just provide me the response here, dot points, and this is just for the handling purpose. And after that I just make a proper JSON structure so that from front end it can assess around, okay, what's the how the URL needs to be assessed for the streaming,
Yeah.
which video have the highest confidence score so that it gets on the upper page. So for
Yeah.
that purpose, the results is been defined the confidence as if the score which has been retrieved is more than 0.7, then it should be high and or medium. And as per that, this whole structure is been maintained, and then it is just sent. So we have video URL here, we have confidence, we have score, we have file name. If we need to understand, okay, which file is been running there in the backend, and we video ID. So
Yeah.
here we just return the JSONified, the formatted results that we have. And yep, it's that much only, like the backend. The next step with the function, this you can see, is just to pin the server continuously on render, like in every 9
Yep.
minutes, so that everything goes on smoothly and every time the server should be running.
Yeah.
So you can
Awesome.
see, like,
Very
it's
cool.
so easy to create an search API with the help of 12 Labs and the Quadrant
Yeah.
solution.
Yeah. So basically, this is a file that's going to take the videos, embed them, store them in Quadrant, and then create the route for the search, which is going to be used on the front end that the user actually interacts with.
Yeah, the creation of embedding is like here it's the text one. This
Uh-huh.
first part that we discussed about creating a video embedding, that is the prerequisite part.
Yep.
So for that also we can see the specific code. So here you can see the three operations which has been needed to be done before building the search API. First is, like, for this use case I have all the videos on my local device, so I don't had a public URL to stream on. So for
Yeah.
that reason I uploaded it to the S3 bucket to get the public URL. The second is the video embedding generation with the 12 labs, and the
Yep.
third is storing it to the quadrant. So if we just go to this quickly, so it's like Boto 3 to Boto 3 and Boto Core is for the AWS interaction.
Yeah.
Then there is, like, Pandas is just the formatting purpose I have used, and
Mm-hmm.
then 12 labs for the embedding, and then quadrant. So it's pretty same, but you just need to define your all API keys of all this. Then in a similar fashion, as we have seen in the app.py, is in the same way we initialize the quadrant host here with the collection, same collection name. Now you
Mm-hmm.
can see, uh, by just this simple function as upload to S3, you can see I just provided the file path, AWS bucket name, and then it provided me the whole URL,
Yeah.
the public URL, and this URL will be using further on to format the metadata for storing. And the second, the most crucial part comes here is the video embedding. So we have a video path. Each video comes one by one here, and particularly the path of that video. And then with the help of Mango Retrieval 2.7, and also here the video embedding scopes which has been defined is clip and video. So if the video embedding scope is both clip and video, means one video will have one embedding. If there is only clip, then it could be multiple, like, one video with segmented videos, as in few seconds of a segmented embeddings. So that is useful for other use cases, but particularly for this one, we need to actually retrieve one video at a time. So for that
Yeah.
purpose, it has been done.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a bit of time, like a very few seconds to process. So this is just for the loading to get to know about.
Yeah.
And this is just an exception to hold on, because I had like hundred of videos to do, and if something goes bad, I don't want to do it again and do the stuff.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, for
Just
that
good
purpose, I
software
have
engineering.
yeah, for that purpose I have added like max retries 3 or
Yeah,
retry
yeah,
4.
yeah. Yep.
So, so something bad happens, then it should just jump to the another video, then another
Yep.
video, so like that.
Beautiful.
Then the main part comes is, now we have embedding, now we have the metadata, we need to store it. So here you can see this is just to get the uh, exact position, the video segments 0 dot embeddings float, to get the embedding vector, exact one of the video.
Yeah.
And then here making a point struct to store it, and storing it like, and then id is just the random UID, which is a generation, but vector is just the embedding vector of that video particular. Then payload is about video ID, then S3 URL, which we had processed before, the public URL.
Yeah.
Then is URL true, and the original file name. This confidence I have removed before because we calculated on the backend itself, so it doesn't make sense here. Only this section, and
Yeah.
then the quadrant line dot upsert is being used, and
Hmm.
where I am providing the collection name and point. So we have the point here. So here, like one video comes up, one embedding generated with the URL and everything gets packed up, and one point gets inserted into a database.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this is just to run all this function in a very sequence manner. So
Okay.
this is just the pipeline part of step one of upload to S3. Then we get the result. Then the second as create embedding. Then we get the result, and after getting the result, step three as storing in Quadrant. So just calling the function and storing the result here, and then
Yeah.
providing me a proper data frame of, like, as a tabular format of, okay, which all videos were there, which was successful, and every video was successful actually.
Yeah.
But this, yeah, this is just for me to understand,
So
okay,
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
going correct
It's
or
just
not.
some good old
So
software engineering.
yeah, so this is the major prerequisite, I can say, before building the application, so that you have the data, you have the embedding, you have everything set up on the database,
Yeah.
and now you can do anything, and you just need to interact with the collection.
Boom. So at this point, basically, you've got your content embedded, you've got it in Quadrant, you've got your backend route set up. It's all about plugging the pipes together so that the user can now actually just interact with it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we like discussed about the whole complete thing which we have seen in this diagram.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. And do you want to just walk us through the front end code so that
Yeah.
people can understand kind of how you're putting it all together?
Like we'll just go to app, so it's in Next.js. This page.txx is the first page, and this explore is the second page which we see. So like for more context, let's say I search here as, wait, yeah, so all the options which you were seeing as animation, sci-fi, kids, anime, so all the options you can see are been mentioned here. And the major function comes is the handle search. So the query which has been provided, okay, so the categories are the one which I have showed you just right now, the anime, sci-fi, and everything which has been mentioned. And the query is actually the additional search you write. So as per our demo, like the dark tone which I wrote is the query. So how it goes is query and the category as in double quotes, and it just get into this structure, and as
Yeah.
per that it sends to the
So you're
like,
doing basically like a bit of pre-processing on the query to get the user closer to the latent space that they want to be in.
Yeah, so if I show the post request which has been done here, so process.env. So yeah, here the post request has been made to the backend,
Okay.
and I'm providing the JSON as the query which we discussed. This is my the endpoint. So if someone is running it locally, it would be localhost
Yeah,
5000.
yeah, yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
it's running on render. So there is an actual backend link here, but I have stored it in an ENV for a security kind of thing, and it's a good practice. So
Yes.
this, yeah,
Always use environment variables, people. Production and development environment variables.
yeah. So after that, it's like the search endpoint it goes to.
Yeah.
So this is the way it went, and it provides the response dot status of the
Okay.
backend, and then it received the data from the backend here, and it shows. After that, it just understands, okay, whether there are video URLs or not. If there is no, then how to handle it. So
Yeah.
it just process the videos to get the video URL particularly out of it,
Okay.
and then it gives it to the video player here, in the components. Then we it gives to the video player to play it on.
Nice.
And there are, if you can see, there are more other stuff also. Wait a second, in the same file there are, you can see, fallback videos also mentioned. So by chance, let's say something goes wrong, or I can say the thing which you are searching is not there, which has never been the case in the semantics. You will, some or the other way, you will find something which you are trying to find if
Yeah.
you have a lot much of it.
Yeah. But just
Still
for
I
user
added,
experience.
yeah, still I added the fallback part. So it's like if something goes wrong, you will get to know, okay, it is not what you are expected. You are getting something around the ratatouille, and so
Yeah.
it's guaranteed your backend is not working, or it's not actually live or something like that.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
the fallback part is also being added around, so that it don't also give the error message on the screen when
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
I like this demo because it shows a like really um, good end-to-end workflow with solid technical hygiene, where you're showing people things like environment variables, you're showing them things like how to use utilities and how to use TypeScript with Python and render. So I like this demo because you're bringing together all of these things in like production quality code so that people can use this as a trampoline for building whatever they want to build. So really well done. I think one thing I would love to do is now go back to the demo, and since people have seen kind of under the hood, I think it'd be interesting to just go through a search one more time and kind of talk about what's happening under the hood.
Hmm. And what's the best part is, let's say someone have this whole code. Okay, they just need to change, like they just need to insert their own videos, and everything is ready. Like they can just use it.
Jet Set Radio, baby. Yeah, I'm probably going
Yeah.
to be building something pretty cool with this because the idea of like semantic recommendation that's tailored specifically to your semantics, and then also with Quadrant, you can do the positive and negative recommendations. So you could create a video recommendation system that is like perfect for yourself. So
Yeah.
okay, cool. So we're back on the demo. Now, with that knowledge that we just gained from the code, do you want to just run through another search so we can kind of see how it works in action?
Yeah. Let's
Okay, so
say I
that's those
click.
tags.
Let's say I clicked on fantasy,
Uh-huh.
and most specific as fighting
Yep.
scenes.
So right now we'd be searching for fighting scene, fantasy, magical worlds, and creatures.
Yeah.
And what movie is this? Is this it looks familiar.
Yeah, it's Rhea Dragon, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is 100% a fighting scene
Yeah.
in a fantasy movie. So, as you
Look
can
at
see,
you.
as you can see, the search works. So, very cool, very cool. Okay, Rishi, is there anything else about this specific repo that you think is important for people to know? for video recommendation. Anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, specifically, wait a second, I will just share the repo again.
Yep. And of course, it will have the link to the repo in the description as well as the link to the demo.
Mhm. Yep, so like you just need to have your own use case and data, and you can just do any action around the content recommendation. So
Yeah.
all the instructions about the file structure from the setup, so anyone can
Beautiful.
just go to 12 labs playground to generate the API key, or can
Yeah.
go to Quadrant cloud, or the best way to anyone wanted to understand about it, just can search around Quadrant cloud quick start,
Yep.
and it just takes like two buttons to prepare your cloud cluster.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
uh, and then setting up the .env
Yeah.
and all the instructions about the installation of backend for front end, everything has been mentioned here, and also about the API usage. So like you can just bring your crazy ideas in live, and if someone still have any doubt, they can reach out to me or can ask in the Discord channel of 12 Labs.
Beautiful. And then one question I always like to ask all my
Yeah.
guests, Rishi, if you were someone who's trying to break into AI right now,
Mhm.
what kind of projects would you be building?
Interesting question. So at this moment, I would say trying out the newest AI tools at this moment so that you
Yeah.
are not behind of people using it. And the second thing would be the best way to go on is to solve the problems which you have in the surrounding and which you feel as in curious. And there are a lot of stuff which can be done in the video space also, which I can say. So if I can
Yeah.
just say around the various other applications which someone can explore around the 12 labs is around security surveillance, so that you get to find about the exact moment the accident or something happened,
Yeah.
or generate a report around it, or
Hmm.
maybe using it for the highlight generation or timestamp. So there are a
Yeah.
lot of stuff which someone can do for around it.
Yeah. And then you mentioned the tools. So outside of course, 12 Labs and
Yeah, yeah,
Quadrant,
yeah, yeah.
what kind of tools would you recommend people be using if they're interested in getting into AI?
Um, Specifically, if I talk about as an AI tool, as like any LLM specifically also works around it, or maybe that nowadays you can see VO which comes into the picture, where you can just if you are lacking the creativity around, okay, how to go for it, or
Yeah.
I have a problem statement but I don't know what are the categories or parameters which are being associated with it. So let's say
Yeah.
there was a problem statement which I saw was of a rental problem. One
Yeah.
owner have a 48 apartments and they need a platform, but I am not the one who knows about this problem, right? And I also don't
Hmm.
know about what are the parameters which is needed to be taken into consideration. So
Yeah.
VO is kind of one of the platform by Vercel. You can just provide your problem. It provides you the parameter and what all the things you should need to be considerate about any projects you are going for that. It helps you
Yeah.
for the PRD purpose. So
Yeah.
so the thing which you see as an which actually consumes your time, so you can save your time and actually put your time on something building which is
Hmm.
new to the community.
Yeah, no, I love that answer. That was really beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Rishi. Um, is there anything else that you want to mention from your end or the 12 Labs end that you think people would want to hear?
Yeah, like if anyone is looking towards building something new or wanted to explore something new, so they can just go to the like you can just click on the developers on the page. Yeah, and there is sample apps. Yeah, so if someone is looking for building apps around it or looking for an idea, you can see there are a lot many open source code you can just make use of and build your own product around it.
Yeah, there's that security analysis you talked about,
Yeah, there are a
fashion
bunch of things
AI,
someone can explore actually.
hop and seek. Yeah, and I really like the aesthetic style of your docs as well. Good job over there at
Yeah.
12 Labs. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, Rishi. My name is Terry Demiva. I'm a developer advocate at Qdrant. This is Rishi Yadav, a developer advocate at 12 Labs. He built the video recommendation system, which you will be able to find in the link below. And we will also be, of course, sharing this all over our socials. Rishi, thank you so much for joining me today. This was a blast. We got to do this one again. Let's build another demo.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, it was a
Yeah, no
great
problem.
discussion. Yeah.
Okay.